Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma is concerned about people meeting on social media, changing their names, falling in love and undermining the institution of marriage. Almost quoting him. He is worried about marriage, which is a legally recognized and a respected institution, and according to him, is losing respect due to people eloping. He has now told people of Assam that there is a new proposed law that will be implemented in April 2025, exactly 1 year before the state votes for assembly elections in April 2026. And what is this new law? To marry in Assam, you will need to give a notice for 6 months. Is this for everyone? Well, in the assembly, this is what Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has said. Hindu marrying a Hindu, or a Hindu marrying a Muslim, or a Muslim marrying a Muslim, couples have to notify the government or send notice 6 months prior to their marriage. But as we say, devil lies in the details. Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma has said that this will be an amendment to the Special Marriages Act, an act that allows interfaith marriage and does not require conversion for marriage. It requires a month's mandatory notice published by a marriage officer. The notice invites objections to marriage. If you can change the page, that's right. And you can proceed if no objections are found within 30 days. So, a 1 month notice period is in effect going to be extended to 6 months. When at the time, the Supreme Court already thinks that 1 month notice is violative of fundamental rights. Quite, if I'm paraphrasing. Look at this. The contentious 30-day notice period. It states, it's about the mandatory 30-day notice period before registering the marriage, and the marriage can only proceed if no objections are raised. Now, what has the Supreme Court said about this? In April 2023, the Supreme Court stated that this 1 month notice is patriarchal. It violates privacy and safety concerns. And that, in April 2023, the Supreme Court actually went on to say that it disproportionately affects those from marginalized community. And then says, law made when women didn't have any agency. So this is a Supreme Court talking about a 1 month notice period. And we are talking about Assam, where now there is a proposed amendment likely that's going to increase the notice period to 6 months. There are 8 states that have introduced anti-conversion laws. Let's go through some. And each of these anti-conversion laws have specifications and focus on interreligious marriages as well. Uttar Pradesh passed. The law was passed under Yogi Adityanath of the BJP, still continues to be the chief minister. Madhya Pradesh. The law was passed under Shivraj Singh Chauhan of the BJP. No change in that. Gujarat passed under Vijay Rupani of the BJP. Uttarakhand passed under Trivendra Singh Rawat of the BJP. In power though is Pushkar Singh Dhami, but of the BJP again. Haryana passed under Manohar Lal Khattar of the BJP. In power though is Nayab Singh Saini of the BJP. Same party, no change. In Karnataka, this anti-conversion law was passed under Basavaraj Bommai of the BJP, and the law was repealed under the Siddaramaiah government. In Himachal Pradesh, it was passed under Jairam Thakur of the BJP. In power, though, is Sukhwinder Sukhu of the Congress. No change, but the law has not been repealed. Jharkhand, this law was passed under Mr. Raghubar Das of the BJP. In power is Hemant Soren of the JMM, and he has said this is going to be reviewed, but no action yet nonetheless. wanted to take you through the landscape of what seems to be a focus on whom you marry, how you marry, and now if you want to marry, better invite the government. I'm being joined at this point by Pramod Swami, who's a spokesperson for the BJP. Also, advocate Kamruzman Chaudhary. I'm also being joined by some strong legal voices. Sanjay Hegde, who's a senior advocate, as well as Sana Rais Khan, who's a Supreme Court lawyer. Thank you very much, all four of you, for joining me. Mr. Sanjay Hegde, if I can come to you first. Sanjay Hegde, what do you make out of this? What's the intent behind this? I'm asking you this because there was no explicit answer. When the Chief Minister was asked, is this specifically for the interreligious, interfaith marriages? Chief Minister said, what's the harm if all children go and tell your parents and tell their families that they want to go and get married? And then you have, of course, the amendment that proposed to the Special Marriages Act. So and so forth. But how do you look at the intent behind this?
Before we go to the intent, let's understand what is happening. The Special Marriages Act is an act under which very few people get married. Most people in India get married according to their personal customs, and most marriages don't get registered also. So the Special Marriages Act is often resorted to by interfaith couples. Now, under that, you have to give a 1-month notice. That notice is put up on the notice board of the collector concerned often, and it is from there that people addresses of the couple. They try to persuade the girl through whatever means not to go ahead with the marriage. All kinds of problems have arisen even with the 1-month period. Now the Chief Minister is basically saying that he wants to extend it to 6 months so that there is more time for persuading the couple or their parents. Of course, to make it facially neutral, he says all people who intend to go under the Special Marriage Act will be covered. The point, however, is that if a Hindu marries a Hindu, often under temple rites or normal rites, there's no resort to the Special Marriage Act. It's the Hindu Marriage Act. If a Muslim marries a Muslim, no resort to the Special Marriage Act. Only interfaith couples where already there was a problem when there was a 1-month waiting period, that is being extended to 6 months. And as far as intent is concerned, just 1 minute.
It's basically...
As far as the intent is concerned, the intent is purely political.
Go ahead,
the intent is purely political, nothing else.
I'll just get our political reactions to that as well. But first, allow me to get in Sana Rais Khan. Now, Sana Rais Khan, taking it from where Mr. Sanjay Hegde has left. Let's just look at the ambit of what's unfolded till now. You've had petitions in the Supreme Court. You've had petitions before the High Courts, even the Allahabad High Court, where there are people who are already married, interfaith couples who have already married, and they are seeking petitions to protect them from those who they think against their marriages. These are not people who want to get married. These are people who have got married, are already married, have already married, and they have petitioned the court. In this context, how do you really see what's unfolding in Assam? Because the Chief Minister has said, listen, we are very worried about this whole aspect of eloping that's happening and the breakdown of the institution of marriage.
Yes. As a progressive and a lawyer, I believe that while the intention behind the 6-month notice period might be to prevent fraudulent marriages and to protect vulnerable individuals, but it definitely raises concern. According to me, it's seen as an infringement on personal freedom and autonomy. Of course, forcing couples to wait for 6 months before marriage places an unnecessary burden on their private decision-making and also could expose them to social pressures, harassment, and coercion. And of course, this rule would, of course, disproportionately affect women, especially those in vulnerable situation, or they're trying to escape abusive relationships, or those who need to secure their legal rights quickly. So, of course, this, and of course, in addition, how Sanjay Hegde sir said that it is in conflict with our principles of equality and also privacy enshrined in our constitution. And of course, I advocate for policies that empower individuals rather than restrict their personal choices. It is in violation of our right to privacy, right to equality, which is enshrined in Article 14 of our Constitution, prohibition of discrimination, of course, conflict with the Special Marriage Act 1954. Really states that that 1 month notice is sufficient, and only 30-day notice period for marriages is sufficient. So, of course, the Supreme Court will definitely consider whether state-specific rules can override or extend the provisions of central law, particularly if they impose additional burden on citizens.
Sanjay Hegde, if I can just come very quickly to you again before I go to the other two panelists again. Mr. Sanjay Hegde, now, you know, there are two aspects to this. One, and I mentioned this earlier, even couples who have been married, interfaith couples who have been married, and if we can have that graphics up on our screen about how there have been petitions before courts that they want protection for their life because they fear for their life, and this is after marriage. That's case one. You have a case two, where people are petitioning courts for protection to be able to reach the court to marry. And then you have other scenarios as well. Then you have a chief minister who's saying there's a breakdown of marriage. Marriage as an institution is not being respected, and we cannot allow freehand eloping. And then you have a Supreme Court that says the 1 month notice period itself is part of an era where women did not have agencies. How do you bind all of these together in our India of 2024?
Well, in India of 2024, a 6 month wait period is an anachronism. It's like once upon a time in India, you had to wait 6 months or more for a Bajaj scooter. Marriage is nothing like that. If two people who are not married, who have no other disability or disqualification want to marry, the state has no business saying that thou shalt not marry. The state is not in the business of stopping marriages. Now, you say that to have a marriage under the Special Marriage Act, you shall have to wait for 6 months. The Supreme Court has already indicated to you that even 1 month, it seems to be manifestly arbitrary. These kind of changes in legislation are often brought about for political purposes, knowing fully well that the courts will strike them down. As my friend just said, this is violative of privacy, this is violative of your Article 21 rights and several other rights. So I don't think that this will be upheld in any court. But nonetheless, you want a political gesture by passing a law, so be it.
Pramod Swamy, our panelists here, both of them lawyers, have very categorically said this is a political move. It's violative of fundamental rights. It's violative of privacy. Not stand the test of legality. ये कोर्ट के सामने लेके आएंगे, ये कोर्ट के सामने खरा नहीं उतर पाएगा. Our panelists are saying ये fundamental rights के बिल्कुल against है. इतना क्या हड़बड़ी था सर? इतना क्या जल्दी था कि ये amendment लेके ही आना था 1 साल पहले elections के, और फिर 2025 अप्रैल में अप्लाई करना था? जब कोर्ट बोल रहा है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट बोल रहा है भैया 1 महीने का जो पीरियड है वेटिंग का, that itself is big. The 1 month period for notice is in itself violative of rights, is what the Supreme Court has said. Pramod Swamy.
हाँ, देखिए अभी विभिन्न वक्ताओं ने अपने मत रखे और लोकतंत्र में सबको अपना मत रखने का अधिकार है, लेकिन जो कोट किया गया संविधान की बात, तो मैं कहना चाहूंगा कि आर्टिकल 1905 में राज्य सरकार को कुछ विशेष अधिकार दिए गए हैं, और उन विशेष अधिकारों के तहत आर्टिकल 1905 के तहत राज्य सरकार जो है वो कुछ विशेष कानून बना सकती है. तो ये आर्टिकल ही ये अधिकार देता है, और इसके द्वारा जो आपको जो ये संवेदनशील व्यक्तियों की सुरक्षा 6 महीनों के नोटिस को अनिवार्य करके कानून संवेदनशील व्यक्तियों, विशेष रूप से बालिकों को प्रारंभिक या जबरदस्ती में धकेले जाने से बचाता है। तो अभी जो आसाम में जो सिचुएशन वो थोड़ी सी अलग टाइप की है। अभी हाल ही में ढिंग में एक माइनर गर्ल को रेप करके उसका मर्डर कर दिया गया। तो इस तरह की घटनाएं यहाँ हो रही है, तो यहाँ की सिचुएशन थोड़ी अलग है। तो ऐसी स्थिति में 19(5) जो आर्टिकल है
प्रमोद स्वामी जी,
वो-
एक मिनट,
हाँ,
प्रमोद स्वामी
हाँ,
एक मिनट,
हाँ,
एक
हाँ।
मिनट, एक मिनट। अब अगर एक नाबालिग, एक माइनर को शादी करना है, वो वैसे भी लीगली शादी नहीं कर सकते हैं। वो 1 महीने का नोटिस हो या 6 महीने का नोटिस हो या 2 साल का नोटिस हो, वो लीगली नहीं कर सकते हैं। कोर्ट्स में जाके
नहीं,
शादी
इसमें-
नहीं कर सकते हैं।
नहीं,
कहीं जाके
इसमें-
शादी लीगली वो नहीं कर सकते। एक मिनट रुक जाइए ना
मैं-
सर, मुझे पूछ लेने दीजिए। रुक जाइए प्रमोद जी, वो कहीं भी जाके
बोलिए।
शादी नहीं कर सकते हैं। इफ दे आर, मैं ट्रांसलेट भी कर रही हूँ बिकॉज आवर व्यूअर्स आर फ्रॉम साउथ आल्सो, दे डोंट अंडरस्टैंड हिंदी। If they are minors, they will not be able to marry legally, even if it's 1 month notice or 6 month notice. तो ये मतलब क्या है? अब 2 लोग जो शादीशुदा की एज के हैं, अगर वो सरकार चुन सकते हैं, सरकार को वोट कर सकते हैं, तो अपने लाइफ पार्टनर, अपने जिनसे शादी करनी है, उनको नहीं चुन सकते हैं।
देखिए, इसमें ये कानून अभी लागू नहीं हुआ है। अप्रैल 2025 में इसको कानून बनाने के लिए हम विचार कर रहे हैं, आगे बढ़ेंगे। आपने जो प्रश्न उठाया उसके उत्तर में मैं
विचार कर रहे हैं या सीएम बोला है कि लागू हो जाएगा? 2 अलग चीजें हैं।
हाँ, नहीं, मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको। हमारा पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू हम बता रहे हैं, दूसरे अपना पॉइंट ऑफ बताओ, अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखेंगे और सबको अपना पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू रखने का अधिकार है। आपने एक तस्वीर रखी, एक पक्ष रखा, और हमारा कहने का ये मतलब है कि कानूनी अनुपालन और पारदर्शिता सुनिश्चित करना, नोटिस दस्तावेजों की पूरी तरह से पृष्ठभूमि जांच और सत्यापन की अनुमति देती है। इससे क्या होता है कि पूरी जांच की प्रक्रिया होगी, अच्छी तरह से होगी, लोगों को कुछ समय मिलेगा, और उस समय में जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स वगैरह की जांच करना, और अगर वो डिसीजन अगर कोई किसी बच्ची का अगर गलत हो रहा है, तो वो भी उसके ऊपर में भी एक समय मिल जाएगा उसको रिव्यू करने का। तो उसमें क्या बुरा है? इसमें कोई तो किसी की मैरिज रोक नहीं सकता। सिर्फ 1 महीना की वजह 6 उसको किया गया है, ताकि कि सारे जो डॉक्यूमेंट्स है, कागज है, पत्र है, और सारी जो चीजों की अच्छी तरह से जांच हो,
1 महीने के लिए भी लोग कोर्ट नहीं पहुंच पा रहे हैं शादी करने के लिए। बट लेट मी गो अक्रॉस टू मिस्टर कामरुज। Mr. Kamruzman, please respond.
Basically, you know, when you bring a law, there has to be a stated intent to bring a law. And in this, the stated intent of Himanta Biswa Sharma, I believe, is bigoted. Because the Supreme Court, in its judgment on Seema versus Ashwani Kumar, had already laid down the formalities of how to register a marriage in the Hindu Marriage Act or under the Special Marriage Act also. I'm not going into the details because 2 very learned lawyers are in your panel, so I will not get into those legal beat out here. But you see the context in which Himanta Biswa Sharma is bringing law on a daily basis. Why I said the intent is bigoted. Because you see, just a few days ago, he repealed a 100-year-old Registration of Muslim Marriages Act in Assam, wherein it was understood that the Muslim Marriages Registration Act is integral to the faith of Islam, and any marriage that has to be solemnized as per the Islamic customs and law is very much an integral part of the religious customs and beliefs of that community. You had a few months ago, Himanta Biswa Sharma brought out the cattle slaughter bill, wherein from a 5-kilometer radius of a temple, you will not be able to slaughter any cattle. Obviously, with an indication to vilify a particular community in Assam. Recently in the assembly, even today also in the assembly also, is visceral hate for a particular community in Assam, that I will not let people of a particular community to go from one place to another place in Assam and change the demographics of Assam. This is the level of mindset that this chief minister, who has taken oath on the Constitution of India, and he is speaking on the floor of the Legislative Assembly of India. He tried to arrest people who were accused of child marriages. I'm not supporting the child marriages, but the point is, most of these people who have been arrested have been married for 15, 20 years. Children have been 10, 12, 15 years old. These people have been arrested because they were accused of child marriages. You see the rot, the mentality of the entire system that is running in Assam is problematic. I don't know how this is going to be corrected, because what precedent this chief minister is setting for Assam is
Okay.
going to a very difficult one. Even you see, even registration of intercaste marriages, intercaste marriages, not intercaste, interreligious marriages. Pew Research Center in 2020 published a data for entire India, wherein it said in India interreligious marriages is just 1% of the total marriages registered. So how come this entire interreligious marriages
प्रमोद स्वामी,
has
आप
become a
रेस्पॉन्ड
trouble
करना
for India?
चाहेंगे? आप रेस्पॉन्ड करना चाहेंगे जब कहा जा रहा है कि
बिल्कुल।
चीफ मिनिस्टर हिमंता बिस्वा शर्मा एंड असम एक बहुत ही बुरा प्रेसिडेंट कर रहा है?
नहीं, देखिए ये इनका, लेकिन आसाम की जो डेमोग्राफी जो बदल रही है, अगर उसकी बात करना सांप्रदायिकता है तो मैं सांप्रदायिकता नहीं मारता, ये एक समस्या है। जब 1951 में आसाम की जो मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन थी वो 12% थी और आज वो करीब 40% हो गई है, और हर 10 बरस में मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन जो है वो 30% बढ़ रही है, और हर 10 बरस में हिंदू पॉपुलेशन जो है वो मात्र 16%
Can I
बढ़ रही है।
respond?
यानी कि मेरी बात,
सर आपके सर
जब वो बोले, मैं एक शब्द ही नहीं बोला।
Can I respond to him?
कम से कम मेरे को अपनी बात को कंप्लीट करने का मौका मिलना चाहिए। ये एक स्वस्थ बहस हो रही है, तो जितना समय उनको दिया उतना समय कम से कम मेरे को भी मिलना चाहिए। तो ये
बोलिए प्रमोद स्वामी जी, बोलिए।
जब हम डेमोग्राफी चेंज की बात बोलते हैं तो हमको सांप्रदायिक कह दिया जाता है। आसाम में हम चाहते हैं कि सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास हो, लेकिन जब एक पर्टिकुलर जगह, जहां असेंबली में जब डिबेट हो रही थी, तो जो शंकरदेव माधवदेव जी की जो जन्मभूमि है, वहां एक विधायक ने कहा कि वहां सिर्फ 40
कहां से कहां जा रहे हैं, इसलिए तो मैं आपको इंटरप्ट कर रही हूँ। प्रमोद स्वामी जी, लेट्स फेस फैक्ट्स। प्रमोद स्वामी जी, अगर 1% to 2% of inter-religious marriages happens in India, आप कितना इंटर-रिलीजियस मैरिज के उसको कोर्ट को नहीं प्रमोद स्वामी जी, आप इंटर-रिलीजियस मैरिजेस इन असम कैसे असम मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन के साथ कंपेयर कर सकते हैं? रिलेशन नहीं है ना सर। लेट्स टॉक फैक्ट्स।
मैंने बोला
we are प्रमोद स्वामी जी, to all the panelists, just a minute, to all the panelists, let me clarify our topic of discussion. I'm very clear about that. हम टॉपिक छोड़ के जा नहीं रहे हैं, टॉपिक छोड़ के हट नहीं रहे हैं। We're not talking about demography, we are talking about the right to marry. In this case is 6 months notice. 6 months notice for right to marry has nothing to do with Muslim demography or a population demography. So let's not get that into this. Pramod Swami ji, आपको इस डिबेट के ऊपर कुछ बोलना है, बोलिए।
मैं बता रहा हूँ।
With all due respect, sir.
आर्टिकल 19(5) ये स्टेट गवर्नमेंट अधिकार देता है कि वो कानून बना सकता है। तो आर्टिकल 95 जो अधिकार देता है, उसके तहत अगर 1 महीने की अवधि को अगर 6 महीना कर दिया जाएगा तो कौन सा पहाड़ टूट जाएगा। हम किसी मैरिज के खिलाफ नहीं है, कोई भी किसी से मैरिज कर सकता है, उसमें कोई आपत्ति नहीं है, लेकिन उनके डॉक्यूमेंट्स की जांच करना, उनके परिवार को इसकी जानकारी होना, और ये सब जो बातें हैं ये काफी जरूरी बातें हैं। मैं अगर कुछ
क्यों जरूरी है? 2 लोग जो मैरिज एज में हैं, क्या जरूरत है ये पूछ रहे हैं? क्या जरूरत है पूरे फैमिली को, पूरे खानदान को, पूरे स्टेट को ये जानने की?
या नहीं है, जरूरत है या नहीं है, ये तो एक डिबेट का विषय हो सकता है, लेकिन अगर 1 महीने से 6 महीना कर दिया तो कौन सा पहाड़ टूट जाएगा, ये भी एक डिबेट का विषय है।
Mr. Kamruzman, very quickly, 30 seconds to you, and then I have to go to Sanjay Hegde, please.
Yeah, basically, can I ask through you, Sneha, Mr. Pramod ji, my friend from Assam, what is the marriageable age, minimum marriageable age as per Special Marriages Act? Can I have an answer from you, sir?
No,
कितना उम्र से शादी करना चाहिए? रजिस्ट्रेशन कब तक, कितना उम्र में एक्सेप्ट होता है?
जो फंडामेंटल राइट्स है उसमें कोई भी बदलाव नहीं किया है, सिर्फ 1 महीने की अवधि को 6 महीने किया गया है।
मैं सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ।
सांप्रदायिकता के चश्मे से देखते हैं,
संप्रदाय तो आपका सरकार नहीं, मेरा सवाल का जवाब नहीं मिला।
Okay, allow me, sir, just one thing. We are not seeing, प्रमोद जी, हम सांप्रदायिकता के लेंस से नहीं देख रहे हैं। आप इस शब्द को बार-बार डिबेट में ला रहे हैं। हमने अभी तक इसको सांप्रदायिक बनाया नहीं. हम बस पूछ रहे हैं कि दो लोग जो शादी करना चाहते हैं उनको किसकी परमिशन की जरूरत है. एक मिनट सर, आप दोनों को टाइम दिया गया था. संजय हेगड़े, if I can very quickly, can you just break this down for us again, because you started with, of course, 1 month to 6 months. What's the problem is what the BJP is saying. My question is, why can't just two people who want to marry? Now the BJP or other people who would be pro this, Assam has very different environment or whatever. It has a very different local challenge. In fact, you know, just look at this. I mean, UNICEF also, to just quote UNICEF's 2019 report, 33% of women in Assam are married before 18. Many of these marriages stem from elopement. If this is what a UNICEF report says, but the point is this: nobody who is underage and going to be married below a marriageable age, they are not going to be going to the court wanting to marry. Isn't that the point we are missing?
Obviously, and it is only the Special Marriages Act where my friend from the BJP says, what's under 1905 if we say 6 months? 1905 allows you to place reasonable restrictions. When the Supreme Court itself is saying that even 1 month looks like unreasonable, you want to say 6 months is reasonable. This is just for the sake of interfering with interfaith marriages who want to go the legitimate way and come to register their marriages. Otherwise, what is going to happen? Either of the couple is going to convert to one religion or the other. Then you run afoul of their anti-conversion law. The point that the Chief Minister seems to be doing is Begani Shadi mein Hemanta Diwan. The original saying was Begani Shadi mein Abdullah
Please
Diwana.
respond.
इनके जुमलों के ऊपर में और पॉलिटिकल मंतव्य के ऊपर में मैं कोई जवाब देना नहीं चाहूंगा. अब ये संवैधानिक अधिकार राज्य सरकार को है या नहीं है, और इसके ऊपर में जो हमारा जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन है वो या सुप्रीम कोर्ट उसके ऊपर में क्या निर्णय देगा, ये तो आने वाला समय बताएगा. ये बहस का मुद्दा हो सकता है. और कोई मैं सर आपके बीच में बोला, मेरी बात को कंप्लीट कर दे, आप अपनी बात रखिएगा. भारत में अगर कोई भी कानून बनेगा तो वो संविधान के तहत ही बनेगा, संविधान के बाहर जाके नहीं बन सकता. ये आप भी जानते हैं, मैं भी जानता हूँ. 1905 जो आर्टिकल है वो हम राज्य सरकार को भी कुछ अधिकार देता है. अब राज्य सरकार एक कानून बनाना चाहती है, वो कानून वो बना पाएगी या नहीं बना पाएगी, इसका जो है निर्णय जो है सुप्रीम कोर्ट कर देगा. उसमें प्रॉब्लम की क्या बात है, उसमें तो बात नहीं है. लेकिन राज्य सरकार अपना जो अधिकारों का जो प्रयोग ही नहीं करे और राज्य सरकार को के जो अधिकार है उनका प्रयोग ही नहीं करे, तो ये तो नहीं हो सकता है ना. राज्य सरकार अपने अधिकारों का प्रयोग करेगी, हम अपने अधिकारों का प्रयोग करेंगे. हम जो कानूनी विशेषज्ञ हैं उनसे राय मशवरा लेकर के ही कानून बनाएंगे, और वो कानून यदि सुप्रीम कोर्ट से मान्यता होगा तभी वो कानून पास होगा. ऐसे तो नहीं हो सकता ना, देश तो संविधान नहीं चलेगा. वो आप भी जानते हैं, मैं भी जानता हूँ.
Substance and logic in the argument from the BJP, state BJP is basically the point that he wants to drive out here is that my way or the highway. What I think is right for the people of this country, I will do it. But it's my own individual right and choice whether I marry a person of my choice, and the state has no business to interfere. Its only business is to register my marriage and give me a legitimacy under the constitution. That's what the government's role is out here. And it's not up to the whims and fancies of anybody in the country to dictate how I marry or how I will eat or how I will live. My limited point is that I'm frustrated every day by day by the way Himanta Biswa Sharma is trying to trivialize and vilify the people of this country, a particular community in general.
Right. Okay. All right. So, very quickly, if I can come at this point to Sana Rais Khan. Sana Rais Khan, just one more question. You know, there are these 8 states we spoke about, how there have been anti-conversion laws, about how these anti-conversion laws have a lot to do about deciding the process, the protocol for getting married, and, you know, so on and so forth. Now, there have been petitions before the top court that say these laws infringe upon their personal freedom and their freedom to practice religion. In fact, the top court has sought responses from 7 such states. How is this viewed as among those whom you represent? You're part of many of your clients who come up to you are also part of the celebrity world, as it were. How do they really look at it? Are they, what's the kind of responses they give?
Usually, such petitions are filed at the Supreme Court on the ground of violation of right to privacy, right to life and right to violation of right to life and liberty under Article 21 and right to equality. And of course, Supreme Court does quash several orders which are illegal and perverse on the prima facie on the face of it. Of course, from a legal perspective, this notice period raises questions about human right violation and also the extent to which the state can interfere in personal decisions. So I believe that a marriage requires a marriage to require such an extent of public notice, there's a lack of trust in the individuals involved, potentially leading to challenges which are based on right to privacy and personal liberty. And time and again, Supreme Court has held that in several decisions, like Lata Singh versus State of Uttar Pradesh, and so many landmark judgments, has set a precedent in terms of this. So I believe the Supreme Court is also very kindly receptive of this, of the petitions which are filed for protection of couples.
Sanjay Hegde? Right, Sanjay Hegde, to people who may be watching you at this point, to families who have, to couples who want to get married under the Special Marriages Act, what would you tell them? Because it's obviously a very complicated situation. We have made it very complicated. It's not meant to be complicated. The Special Marriages Act is supposed to find a better way out to be able to marry and get into an institution. Unfortunately, in India, whether it be verdicts that have come up from courts, whether it be High Courts or Supreme Court, High Courts largely, not the Supreme Court, but also these laws that have been brought in by the government seems to make it extremely difficult. And as one of my colleagues actually spoke when we were discussing this debate, intent almost seems to ensure that the marriage doesn't go through.
Absolutely. Why do you need 6 months? 6 months is not for the protection of the couple. 6 months is so that society can interfere and prevent the marriage from happening. That is what. There is no question, no other intent. And to everybody who's watching, I would just repeat the old song, "Pyar kiya to darna kiya, pyar kiya koi chori nahi ki." So go ahead, by all means marry. If you marry a good person, you'll be happy. If not, you'll be a philosopher. That's what Socrates said. And we have philosophers in the government.
All right. All right, we'll leave it at that. Mr. Pramod Swamy, Sanjay Hegde, Kamruzman Chaudhary, as well as Sana Rais Khan. Thank you to all 4 of you. Thank you very much for joining us.